Clocking in, we clocking in. What's going on here? Yeah, we on. What's going on, party people? Now, welcome. Now, especially if this is your first time, it's definitely a pleasure having you in. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I'm a spiritual healer. So, technically, as a spiritual healer, what I do is I pretty much assist other people in becoming in alignment with their true self. And the way you do that is pretty much by being in connection or being open to your emotions, and doing so you would be able to understand your emotional patterns and also your emotional blockages, because being open to your emotion, then you acknowledge what your blockages are, right? So as a spiritual healer, I help you to do that. And in addition to that, oh shit, I feel like I'm talking spicy already. Now, in addition to that, you also have to understand your intellectual conditioning, meaning, in fact, I mean, that's kind of like what we're going to be talking about tonight. But, as a quick definition, well, not necessarily definition, but to quickly explain what I mean about intellectual conditioning, we're talking about, the way you've been conditioned to think life. Do you see what I'm saying? We've been, conditioning to think like life a certain way. For instance, that's the reason why everybody goes to school. Do you see what I'm saying? You've been conditioning, school is the natural way for you to go. You can't even argue that shit. It became part of your pattern. So the conditioning part of you, you've been conditioning, conditioned pretty much. That's the normal way to go, and that includes everything else. But I just wanted to use that example, not to say that school is bad. That's not what we're talking about here. But you automatically knowing, nigga, you gotta go to fucking, middle school, high school, and shit like, and possibly to college. And now you may even judge somebody who doesn't go to college, because now at this point to you they're not even normal. But anyway, the bottom line of what I'm saying here is for you to acknowledge, to understand, as a spiritual healer, I help you to acknowledge those those intellectual conditioning. Because a lot of that has a lot of impact on the person that you are. However, for you to be in touch or to be in direct connection to the person that you are, you got to acknowledge both sides of these things. In fact, this is also going to take us to what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before I do so, if you're coming back, you already know it's a Holy Communion as always. You know what I'm saying? We're here to break some bread. We're here to, let's make it happen. And let me just back up a little bit because, I feel like I'm going in. I got the feel, baby. I'm feeling it. Let me relax. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just got to come in and do shit. But you know what I'm saying? It's okay. That's that killer instinct in me. But anyway, that's that doer too. That's that fire energy. You know what I'm saying? The passion for what you're talking about too. But anyway, now with all of that being said, you already know, get a plate, stop fucking playing. Now, generally I always like to give a little bit of background about, the meaning of what spirituality is. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with you doing your sage. You know what I'm saying? I know you saging, that's good. In fact, you saging doesn't make you spiritual, but because you are already spiritual. When you sage or you're doing whatever the fuck you're doing, now you are protecting the spirit that you already is or are. However the fuck you want to look at it. It's not your, spiritual beliefs. It's not your belief system. It's none of that. It's just you being who the fuck you are as a baby. Not saying a word, nigga. That you just spirit. right then and there. A baby's being born, that's the spirit right there. Now, the process of acknowledging and all of that shit, that's when we talk about, becoming spiritual now. We're going to call it for what it is. If we're going to have this conversation, listen, if we're going to if we're going to talk, let's be honest. Let's be honest. What are we doing? You see what I'm saying? So therefore, what we're doing is, when we talk about spirituality, and also, that's why, that's going to be part of our conversation too tonight. Because a true light worker has to walk both, the day and the night time. Meaning you have to understand both the dark side and the light side. So when somebody tells you, I'm a light worker, but if you're a light worker, you don't know anything of the darkness, you one-sided. You need more light in your light. In other words, you're not truly a light worker because you have not faced your dark side. And that's why those are the people, a lot of those pastors, or even people who talk about religion, they talk about it, but they're not being about it. They're not about it. Anybody could talk about anything. But when you are that, it shows. It shows. And that's why the purpose of you walking, but not just you walking both the dark and the light side, but the purpose of everything, the word has to become flesh. That's the key to transformation. Well, that's transformation itself. When you say somebody's wise, or when we talk about wisdom, well, that's somebody who had the knowledge and had become the knowledge. But we don't look at it that way. But you'll say that person is applying the knowledge. But applying that shit, because the whole thing is the known and the knower has to be one. When you're aiming at something, you got to become one with your aim. Watch all of those movies, they'll tell you the same. You got to feel it. You got to become that for you to hit it. How do you want it? That's when you could breathe the target. You could do all of that, all of those stuff. But anyway, it all comes down to this. The purpose of us even talking about God, religion, whatever the fuck it is, it has to materialize. Because that's the world that we're living in. And because it's not being expressed, the word has not been made flesh, that's when you see a lot of... Anyway, I'm saying all of this to say, this is where we're going with this. Oh, because we're going a distance today. Like when you talk about being a light worker, you got to walk the dark, baby. You got to walk both the dark side and the light side. But most importantly, as a light worker, that's how you're able to transcend. And I'll give you a perfect example. Anybody who have ever grown from any stages in their life, has to come from the darkness, meaning not understanding what they were going through. And then now they got an awakening. They got to understand what this is all about. You got to have those two. Do you see what I'm saying? Because out of the darkness comes the light. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all of our mistakes that makes us fucking mature. It's the knowledge, the mistakes that we made, the understanding that we go through, our experiences. That's what made you who you are. And that has a lot to do with your spirituality too. Because your spirituality, your spirit is already being expressed. You see, a lot of us, that's why we got to talk about the conditioning too. That's very important. The conditioning pretty much is understanding the nature of ignorance. When you guys are worshiping idols, I'll give you a perfect example. How they rocking you to sleep. And I already talked about that, but I got something else to talk about, right? Let's just say, you see how everybody's open to learn about, to open up a medical shop, to learn about your body. When anything happens to you, you're going to go to the fucking doctors. You've been taught that. Why are you not being taught about, think about it, your true self then? Well, that's only part of you. I mean, I get it. You see, you get into half shit. That's like they putting you to sleep. Now you're being conditioned. And that's why even spirituality, too, in so many words, a lot of people look at it as something being distant. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not even looking at the spirituality as your regular shit. The collective consciousness doesn't see it that way because you've been rocked to sleep. They teaching you, everybody, if you have anything happen to you now, you got to see a doctor. But this is telling you about you, how important you are, right? In so many words. But this is only talking about your physical aspect of you. And ironically, which is an extended version of your consciousness. And a lot of those different healing process, not just healing process, like acupuncture. Is it acupuncture? Yeah, it is. The thing with the little, like the needles, I think they would fucking put on your ass. They're just showing you, and a lot of the science has been showing you, and sometimes they will tell you too, and Dr. Lila Africa was a big part in that, to let you understand, like, certain disease that you have, it's also spiritual. So by him saying it's also spiritual, what he's also telling you is, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, he used people who have a sugar addiction. Those are the people that will become diabetic. There's a direct connection. In other words, he didn't say it directly, but what he was trying to say is that your consciousness is projecting that shit into your body. But those was not the words that he was saying. That wasn't what he was there to talk about. That's what I'm here to talk about. But what he was talking about, though, is for you to become acknowledge of your feelings. Understanding food, it was more than just food. And that's why he was telling you to get back in your African way, meaning you got to understand, have a whole different approach when it comes to eating food. Because even eating food is fucking spiritual, nigga. For instance, we're living in a culture where your body is looking as a fucking robot. You got to feel your body. That's how people look at it. So you give it what it needs. So how do you make a connection with your food? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, not only that I'm saying how you are being conditioned, but I'm also saying, most importantly, I mean, shit. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? This is how you're being conditioned. Meaning, to get back to, you have to understand your conditional, your intellectual conditioning. That's what this is all about. So therefore, that ignorance, that's the nature. That's why you have to understand the nature of ignorance. Because it's all of these systems, or processes that you're going through now. You have normalized these things. You're following them. That's the nature, the pure nature of ignorance. This is ignorance at its best. And as a light worker, such as myself, It's crucial that I understand both sides, that I walk on both ways, on both sides. The day and the nighttime, baby. You have to. And here's another reason why, too. Just like I was saying, and I always use this fucking example. I don't know how meaningful that shit is to you niggas, but to me, that shit's very fucking, it's crazy to me. But, not too crazy, but crazy in the sense of this is a perfect example to show how ignorant that we are, right? So remember what I was telling you, you wouldn't even know how toxic you are until you grow. Only then can you say like, yeah, I used to be so fucking crazy. You see, that's why when I tell people, you tell me how much you change, I'll tell you how educated you are. You talking for yourself. No one is fucking perfect. If you can't say how much you've grown, meaning, and your growth has to do with you being in the darkness and now opening, now that you got your eyes open. You understand what I'm saying? There's a direct connection with that. That's why a true light worker have to work both motherfucking sides. And what you also gonna understand about what you're calling a energy vampire, or your dead people, all of these shit. Those are the people only from the darkness, meaning they are closed off. They didn't know anything of the self, or the true knowledge, or the light, or the daytime. When they see the daytime, they're running away from it. That's who you have as your energy vampires, your haters, however the fuck you want to call them, or those dead people. That's who they are. And then once you are in that type of energy, you pretty much everything else. Envy, jealousy, all of that shit. But I'm saying all of that to say, here's the example that I always use, or that I always think of, even if I didn't say it, is that I know this bitch back in the days, right? She was fucking everybody, but she never thought she was a hoe. I'm like, wow. Now, but true shit. See, like if a girl tell you, you know what, now I change. You know what I'm saying? I used to fuck a lot of niggas, or probably they wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? I was to give out my energy a lot. Now I'm being reserved. I ain't knocking you, baby. Growth is growth. I love it. That's what this whole thing is about. So don't even get me started on that, just so you know. So that's why for me, I don't judge niggas. Regardless of where you come from, when you're making that change, listen, that's a turn on for me. Because that's what this whole game is about. Hey, being asleep is being asleep, man. And everybody wakes up at different time of the day, too. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, my mistake, even though, you know what I'm saying? I was at a hole, you know what I'm saying? We were raised a little bit different. But, for me, with what I come to understand, shit, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying, act like I'm tough and shit. I ain't gonna act like I'm tough, you know what I'm saying, to be real. I ain't gotta do that. Because realness is realness, nigga. And then you understand, now it doesn't matter. If somebody's changing for the best, regardless of where you come from. Change is change, nigga. At the end of the day, you are no longer the person that you are. You are, there's growth in it. And trust me, people will respect it. I respect it. But anyway. That's not what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Disclaimers, you know what I'm saying? Just in case I had to disarm some of you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think you, nigga, shit. You know, I robbed the robber before it robs you. Big up the loaded lux. That was his rhyme. I love that shit. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I have to disarm you before you even, you know what I'm saying, do what you gotta do. But anyway, what the fuck was I gonna go with this shit? I'm wildin'. Saturday night niggas. Hey, check out the Patreon. Become a Patreon member. Stop playing. Let's build a community, man. Let's keep in touch. And just so you guys know, too, I also do one-on-one or one-on-one consultation. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially if you're going through the dark night of the soul, not just the Patreon, because that is mainly what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? When I really, you know what I'm saying, go in on you. You know what I'm saying? And trust and believe. Like, you know, us having a session, I will tap into your energy. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I'm a spiritual healer, man. Just know, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm gonna work you out. I got you. That's what I do, right? You know what I'm saying? I gotta flip you around, you know what I'm saying? See what you're about. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? Ow. Anyway, let's just, you know, kid a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, just like this bitch, right? Back in the days, I used to know that bitch. Yo, you know, and then, you know, it sounds like, you know, I was a reporter, nigga. So, I'm like, yeah, so, and just to see their minds and their mentality, she don't think she's a hoe. In her mind, she's a natural person. Not that she is unnatural for being a hoe. But do you see what I'm trying to say to you? Like, a lot of you would be able to see that because you're outside of her reality. And of course, a lot of those people, you know what I'm saying, daddy was not home, you know, some of these things, or that, you know what I'm saying, or even if daddy was home, but they didn't get that daddy support, whatever the fuck it is, right? I'm saying all of that to say, like, shit, like, and yo, you know, toxic people don't even know that they're toxic. When they rah, when you see those bitches on fucking Jerry Springer and shit, like, you guys be like, who raised these motherfuckers? These motherfuckers don't look at themselves like that. That's what makes this insane. Like, this is a mental institution. That's what we're going through. And the only way for you to truly become sane, you got to walk both sides. You have to understand, you know what I'm saying? You, first of all, by you understanding the nature of ignorance, you know, like, you know, that's you waking up to how stupid you used to be. If anybody cannot tell you how stupid they used to be, trust me, they still stupid. Because anybody who's growing will tell you, yo, this is how what I used to do. Now, granted, because here's another case too. I met this other bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, oh shit, I'm wilding. I'm wilding today. But it's just a bunch of funny fucking stories that I have in mind, and you know, I'm just giving it to you guys like this. That's all you need to know anyway. But anyway, this bitch, she used to tell me like how she used to have a low self esteem, right? I mean, that's growing a little bit. That's deep. But yet, to still have a low self esteem and not even knowing it. So I'm saying this to say there are different levels of growth. And when she was saying she used to have a low self esteem, it's kind of like everybody used to count her out. Now she's counting everybody out. that's not growing from. That's not truly, growing from having a low self esteem. Do you see what I'm saying? Because having truly solved this issue, what they did to you, you don't have to do it to nobody else. If you doing it to somebody else, that's hurt people hurting other people. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like the motherfucker like nobody used to pay attention to. Now it got some light, and then they got to see how they used to be, and to the point that they are now. So in some ways, it is a little bit of growth, but it's not solving the issue because now he's looking to take revenge on other people. So you still have a low self esteem. You just got better at it. In other words, you know what I'm saying? You got more stupid. You just got stupider. I mean, however the fuck you wanna say it. You know what I'm saying? You mastered how to be st- stupider, if that's even a word, right? So you mastered how to become even more stupid. That's all you did. You didn't solve the issue, but you mastered how, because now you know how to masquerade that side of you, and now you're going at other people. Damn, my niggas, I've seen some shit. Mayday, Mayday. I have seen some shit, right? So that's crazy. But all of that though, I'm just showing you different aspect in understanding the science of ignorance, right? But as I was using the other example, which is that person has not fully awakened from that cycle. Because at this point, having a low self esteem, when you have a self esteem means self, people. I have no competition with you, self. I'm focusing on making myself better, doing everything for me. Not in a selfish way, but in a sense of I understand that a better me can treat you better. Obviously, when he didn't grasp the whole understanding of having a full self-esteem, now you're looking to hurt other people because you didn't get a full understanding of who you were. And you have not fully let go or fully understand what it is. Not truly, I mean, shit, you can only come to terms with your emotions or your understanding. That's how you heal the wounded child. So, in other words, your true balance is for you to truly know who you are, which is spirit. So, the true balance that we're talking about here, or even the scale that Anubis is talking about when it's being shown, or the Ma'at that we talk about in African spirituality, is truly talking about you being truly spiritual. Because that's the only way you be balanced over here. The Christ consciousness, Krishna. How the fuck do you want it? So a true light worker have to understand both. It's a little bit like, if I'm becoming, just think about just being a shaman. The shaman has to understand your illness as much as the remedy that he has to give you. It's a must. He got to. He has to understand when he sees these symptoms. So he got to understand the malady, the disease. He has to understand it. So when you acting this way, you're doing that, you're doing that, you're doing that. I know that's what you got. So now I know this is what I'm gonna give you. Do you see what I'm saying? And here's something else too. And the spirit was feeding me this shit. I realized there's different type of Christ consciousness or Buddhas. Do you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of us came back to earth on different purposes. You know, you have the people who are conscious about just who they are, and there's a lot of these people you don't even know who the fuck they are. There's a lot of conscious people out there, man. They just mind their business. I'm there to save myself. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Then you have other niggas. That's the other type of Christ or consciousness. Buddha, Krishna. All the same shit. Because the Buddha is the enlightened one. So there's different type of us that came down to earth. That's how I know I'm a spiritual healer. You know what I'm saying? I could identify that that's the type of spirit that I'm in. That I am. But all of those spirit, right, we came to experience different. That's why you have your priest. The Dharma, that's what the Dharma is talking about. The different things that we came down here to do. Or the different talent that you have. You see what I'm saying? That's why, like, don't fuck around. Like, don't think Michael Jordan is fucking stupid because he's only talking about basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's a motherfucking master right there. The game of basketball teach him about life. That's what the samurai do. That's why the fucking ninjas is all about. That's why they tell you, hey, we're not teaching you how to fucking really fucking killing people. The whole purpose is for you to how to control yourself. And then, you know, that's what the story's about, motherfuckers. That's what they're telling you. And then the last result, the last call for, you know, to action or for action at this point would be for you to defend yourself. You have to kill the motherfucker. And then now you prune this nigga too. You had to. You get it? So anything, you can learn from anything. Basketball, listen, of course there's a lot of wisdom in it. And that's where Kobe Bryant comes in. You know what I'm saying? You know, he kind of learned that from Jordan and then developed his old shit. That's all a lot of these niggas was talking about. Practice, talking about, you may think these niggas are retarded, but they telling you about some real shit. You got to be focused, right? Well, in everything else that you do. In this line of work that I'm doing, I got to be focused on my shit. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like when the guys wants to hang out, you gotta be like, yo, this is me too. Well, I don't play basketball, I don't do that, but certain shit like, nigga, I can do the fuck shit, man. What the fuck are we doing? This is him saying, you know, through basketball, making himself better. And all this shit, all I'm saying, it's all spiritual. It's another way of me saying it's all spiritual. But what I'm truly trying to say about that is that the spirit express itself through different avenues. There's two bitches playing Venice. Is it? I don't listen. I don't even watch tennis though. You know what I'm saying? Take it easy on me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, drop me off right here, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna ride in that. I'm not gonna go on that ride, nigga. All right, y'all niggas could drop me off right over here. I just had this thing to say. Right? You know, even these Vanessa. Is it Vanessa and Venice? Shit, nigga, I'm wildin'. But anyway, they are, you know what I'm saying? There was a movie that came out about them, you know what I'm saying, dark and lovely. Hey, y'all bitches are dark and lovely. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then until you know what? Fuck it. Since we talk, if we want to talk some shit, let's talk some shit. Until now, my Haitian bitch, well, I could say Japanese, Haitian, whatever the fuck she is, right? She actually beat one of them. You know what? I shouldn't go into that. Drop me off right here. I tell you, because I don't know much. You know what I'm saying? I know a little bit as far as she won, and then that was it. I didn't even watch the game. Nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't even know. Like, if you call in the play, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. I mean, I used to know, though, to be honest. But, but that's no longer my focus. But I'm saying all of that to say, again, your focus, how you growing, which is your conditioning as well. Their father, which was Will Smith, actually played the movie. Did I even watch the movie? Not yet. It's on the list. It's on the list. Relax, niggas. Relax. It's on the list. No, it is. It is. But you know what? For me though, like, I don't know. I don't know. But this is what we were talking about too. I appreciated the fact that that's what they wanted for their kids. But also, this conversation is great because now this is really part of what we're talking about here. So when we're talking about your conditioning, just like the hospital for you is normal, but for you to get to know who you are as a spiritual being, as a spirit, that's not even normal to you. That's crazy. And you don't even see that as crazy. And that's where I may lose you too, because you would have to get to see what I come to see. And by me saying this is crazy, then for you to understand that it is crazy. So you learn about, what I'm saying, we go to doctors, we go to the fucking hospital, we know about our physical body. And then nothing else about us? Go get a job? Vote, motherfucker. That's it? Really? I mean, shit, I just gotta, what I'm saying? I gotta let that marinate for you guys for a second. It doesn't make sense, bro. And that's pretty much how they're rocking you to sleep. Now, we are being raised in a society where toxicity is normal. That's why you don't know when you're toxic. Greed, getting money, that's what this life is about. If you ain't getting money, none of that shit, nigga, like, you might as well kill yourself. Really, niggas? But that's the foundation of this life. Are you successful? You're not successful. Now you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. But let's just say, and then now you have the classes, these, the peasants, the middle class, and then whatever the fuck. That's what you are being part of. But it's okay. As a spiritual healer, I'm trying to show you your intellectual conditioning. And that's what, in so many words, the Matrix was telling you about. But the Matrix, whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, the Matrix, I'm going to leave that alone. I should talk about this on a whole different video. Because what the Matrix is showing you, which is good, the distinction or the difference between, they're not truly showing you how you're being conditioned. What they're showing you is the Matrix, which is the world that you're living in, which is kind of like a natural world that you're being blinded to see the real world. But what I'm trying to tell you is, because that's where the fucking contrast comes in. Because you got to understand the European spirituality is based on duality. Good and bad. Nature, God. Do you see what I'm saying? It has to be that way. So what the Matrix was truly showing you is this world is fucked up. What I'm trying to tell you is by acknowledging, and that's why, you know what I'm saying, it's like, it's for you to see the fucking truth. It's an illusion. Do you see what I'm saying? Think about this. An illusion means what you, it's like, there's a difference. It's like, if I'm telling you, for instance, right, if you're walking down in a fucking desert, you see, I don't know, how do you call these things? You know, not a pond, like, I don't know what's the name of it. Those little things with water. Let's just say for now, those, it's only the French thing that's coming up in my mind. But anyway, then you see that and you're thinking there's water all around you. Then you walk into it. That's not what it is. That's what illusion is. Fake is different. Like, I could have a fake Jordan, meaning there's a real one that do exist, and then this is a copy of it. Of you know what I'm saying? That's what makes it fake. But illusion is telling you there's no original, there's no copy. It's a fucking illusion. That's how you awaken from the dream. That's your awakening. That's why with true spirituality, if you're saying fuck Earth, you're still dreaming. That's when, if your heart now, there's levels to this shit. Because niggas are using your heart being as light as a feather when they're being one-sided. But out of ignorance, which is the nature, the science of understanding ignorance, you gotta understand it. They don't even know it. If you're eating from the tree of good and evil, which is duality, you'll never see the kingdom of God. Never ever. Because you are in separation. You think there's a separation. And now you're saying fuck Earth. Just like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Yo, if you love somebody then you hate that same person, you still love the person, bro. Love and hate is the same shit. That's why the opposite of love is not hate. It's to be indifferent. Indifferent meaning you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? There's certain examples I'm not going to use, but I'm just indifferent to a lot of shit. I'm indifferent to a lot of shit. Okay, cool. Let's just say you fuck my baby mother. Points. Did you enjoy the pussy? Did you enjoy the pussy, nigga? Was it juicy? Not really. Did you bang that pussy? Okay. What does that mean for me? I'm indifferent. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? I wouldn't be healed if I'm not indifferent. I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm not trying to talk down on anybody here. But it's the science that I'm trying to show you. Well, in this instance, I'm showing you the science of the light. Walking that daytime, baby. You know what I'm saying? You're enjoying nature at this point. The whole blade shit, that's what the night walker is pretty much all about. He walks the day and the night. That's what the whole spirituality, the whole mystery of that movie, that's what the shit's telling you about. Then what you calling your haters, those are the people, I'm telling you, man. Like, it's not like they don't know what they gotta do. They don't wanna do it. Better yet, they don't even know that they gotta do it. Cause I know for me, I'll give you a perfect example, right? I think I was still in college. And then it's like I was going through some heavy duty thinking. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm stepping in life now. Shit, your boy was thinking. I love this nigga though. You know what I'm saying? The path. When I look at the path, the process. Oh man, I get to appreciate it now. There was time where it's like I was asking questions, and then now I'm looking at it. It's like it's all for the best. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all making sense too. It's all coming together. And I've also always shown how the spirit is being manifested. Oh, it's always been flesh. The word has always been made flesh. Now coming to term to it, that's when you become in alignment with your higher self. That's what the awakening is all about. But anyway, I'm gonna take it easy on y'all. I'm gonna slow it down. So now, when we're talking about walking both, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why doctors. Okay, I think I'm gonna take it a little too far here, but you know, if I went too far, please feel free to let me know. But I feel like a lot of doctors, well, because I got a couple of my friends that are doctors too, right? So I know these niggas, they have to learn about disease. That's what I'm trying to say. Learning about the disease and then learning about the remedy goes hand in hand. So as a true light worker, you have to walk both sides. In other words, like, how can I heal anybody if I don't know what your pain is like? If I don't understand what the pain is about? You know what I'm saying? For my church people, you got to know who Satan is, right? Know his tricks. You got to study Satan, nigga. You got to learn his tricks. Because this nigga, when you learn all of his tricks, you know, you got a better chance of not being tricked by him. I got you. However you want to address it, out of the darkness comes the light, but they go hand in hand. Even to say you a light worker in itself is showing limitation to a certain point. Now I understand what you're saying. Do you see what I'm saying in terms of, if you're referring to bringing a higher understanding? A higher understanding that is a unification of the darkness and the light. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you see this. There was a cartoon, and I watched that shit with my daughter too. I can't recall the Chicken Little Run. He saw what was happening with the other chicken, and he came back to warn them. But everybody, just like him and the other ones, they thought, there was going to be a different outcome. Do you see what I'm saying? But the truth was, what I'm saying, what they call the winners. The winners were actually the ones who were being dead. And that's what they do, technically. When you have a lady like Oprah, who's a billionaire, who do not have a man, think about the magnitude, the message that's being said here. Do you see what I'm saying? Even that in itself. She got a boyfriend. technically, her action, her career comes first. That's her masculine. That's her masculinity being activated. You're looking at her full blown masculinity, and of course you could do it too. It's in you, the yin and the yang. Of course you can. That's why women go to war. You know how to fight. You know all of that shit. Fuck yeah, it's in you too. The difference is it's not the core of you. That's why you may be able to do what a man does, but you're not going to be able to do it the way he does it. Can you do it too? Yes, but not the way he does it. If you got it better, it could be by just one man, but the general consensus, no. And vice versa too. So the feminine movement should have been about, this is what we do on this side. Motherfucker, acknowledge this. When we're raising kids at home, the kids of the fucking future, how the fuck do you downplay us? We are part of this mother. Nigga, I can't speak for you. But if you own your shit, that's what I'm saying. Like, even with myself, I shit, nigga. I am a feminist, to be honest. Obviously, as I started breaking this shit down for you. But that's not what you're talking about. You're looking to be like a man. You calling it a feminine movement. You're crazy. Pick up the Brother Panic too. You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of the ones that, really, like, for me, I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer, but the way he put it, it's kind of like, for me, it's like, I don't know how else can I say this better. Like, this nigga said it perfectly. You looking to be better men. How else can I say this? You looking to be better men. Hands down. But I'm saying all of that to say, because we're going back, that's for Wednesday, by the way. Check me out. You know what I'm saying? This is your first time watching me every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get down. You know what I'm saying? It's hump day. So we're going to get down talking about the masculine and the feminine energy. But this was important for me to say because it relates to the conditioning. Because I remember I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who he was talking about modern day women, and I'm like, oh, I don't subscribe. I don't believe in that shit. They're all the same. They still have pussy. They are emotional. They're the same bitches. Do you see what I'm saying? And the reason why it's important for me to say this because, you tend to separate them. When you're saying modern women, you are separating them from the old energy. Therefore, you casting judging on these motherfuckers. But it's all good. I get it. I get it. Maybe you're referring in timeline. You know what I'm saying? Again, I get you. You know what I'm saying? But on the line, the whole underneath it all, they're all the same. And if you're truly judging in your timeline, then you should understand, truly, it's just different conditioning. The way women are thinking this way, it's not the type of knowledge or thinking that was presented to these other women. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you can see it that way, so you're talking about the same person under a different type of conditioning. That's what you're truly talking about. But you don't know it. That's why, for me personally, knowing that, I don't subscribe to it. All right, bitches are bitches, dog. I talk dirty too. I apologize. I have a filthy mouth. Bitches are bitches, dog. What you talking about? Bitches are bitches. And that's why people are always gonna be people, regardless of what the fuck. The time, your time zone, you know what I'm saying? The however the fuck you put it. Now when you truly get to the bottom of truly who we are, now that's when, the conversation is different. That's when now you have escaped the cycle of birth and rebirth. In this particular time or this particular example, you have escaped that little fucking intellectual conditioning. You step right out of that shit. As I just showed you, to what you call in modern women and traditional women, they got different set of education. They go by different set of rules. You know what I'm saying? But when you're saying modern, you're trying to create a difference. But at the end of the day, they're all bitches. And that's what you lock into. That's why a lot of these niggas will be talking about this shit. These niggas are weak too. Bitch ass niggas. But anyway, I'm wilding. Shit, nigga. Hey, hey. I'm saying, now you don't talk about bullshit about bitches, man. You talking about a bitch, bro? Just like, here we go. Here we go. Well, let's go back to that conversation I was having, right? This bitch who didn't know that she was a hoe. Do you want to talk about a hoe? I don't know, man. I think there's levels into this shit. But anyway. It's like some shit. You have to walk both sides. But most importantly, by you walking both sides, what I'm truly saying is you have to have a great understanding of the darkness and the light. And as we talked about, which I'm not going to go over again, but pretty much it's like you can only acknowledge how toxic you used to be when you are no longer toxic or you are growing, at least. But then I also trying to point out two different type of growth. You have a growth where, what I'm saying, it's not truly a growth, but when you become master, it's like if you have a low self-esteem, you have developed a better way of having a low self-esteem. And a lot of people who have not fully grown, that's what they typically do. Trust me. I have seen it, witnessed it. I'm like, okay, I know what this is. And then they also show you that too, even in the fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the guys, you know what I'm saying, who was not, the high school popular dude, whatever the fuck. And then, and here's the difference too. Then you have the other guys who fully outgrown that. Let's just say you calling those guys, they are the geniuses or whatever the fuck this shit is. Oh shit! I was going too far. I can't recall who was talking about Chris Rock. There was a nigga who was saying about how he was to punk out Chris Rock and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I could definitely imagine if that nigga's from Brooklyn. When I say imagine, not because nigga I was born in Haiti, man. I'm an island boy. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of my people, I know a lot of niggas who got deported. You know what I'm saying? Like the era, like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You living among savages. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes when I look at African American, like, pretending, like, what the fuck? Like, what do the other niggas, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? When the reality is, I mean, but, oh man, but I fully grasp it though. Do you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of these niggas, there you go, the ignorant shit again. Them being ignorant to a lot of shit, man. Shit's crazy. Not looking at the reality. Because listen, man, I came from a motherfucking background where, I don't know, I don't even know, this is not even important. But, okay, I'll just say this and say, like, quickly. It's like anybody that ever, like, somehow end up being in Brooklyn as a kid, you gotta turn out to be either a gangster, a scammer. Like there's some bullshit that's had to be done, that has to happen with you. Now, not necessarily the case, of course. Now, if you go to school, and of course, you have those people too. But outside of these people, but these people would also be considered. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Those Buddhas, those are Buddhas too, to their extent. They don't follow the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's when their mom or their father was instilling something else in them. Okay, we live here, whatever the fuck. This is what you gotta do. It all comes down to to your intellectual conditioning. They didn't fall for the okey doke, meaning they didn't go with the community conditioning at that time. That's why a lot of these niggas, they would tell you, man, I'm from the hood, but I'm not gonna act like I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm from the hood. I need a better life. You have these niggas that are getting their A's. You know what I'm saying? They know what other niggas are doing, and the conditioning that they're being shaped at their house or their houses. You see, that's why you have to understand your intellectual conditioning. In other words, oh, well, you could look at it as your culture too. But most importantly, this is referring directly to the type of knowledge that you're being fed as a spirit. Then you're going off of that. That's the idea of knowing better. You do better. And of course, we do know, you may know better, but you don't do better. Because knowing is the simplest thing. You could hear me say something here, you know it. That's why a lot of people are faking. Yo, niggas, I know people on fucking like IG right now. If you're looking at the quotes that they be posting, you would think these motherfuckers are deep as fuck. Even I like shit. That shit fits me. I'm like I'll be thanking their ass for the fake ass, but I know who they are. Oh, thank you for being that. That was also the fucking parable about the whole Jesus shit. It's like when you don't have anything, the little bit that you have will be taken from you to give to the people who already have. And here I am talking. I'll give you a perfect. How often do you see me post anything, any quotes? Like now, if this is your first time here, you check it out for yourself. Or let's just say if you think I'm talking some bullshit, because this is talking for itself too, and you talking for yourself too. It's an even field. You didn't do anything wrong, nigga. Keep on going. Okay, that was none. That was more on the indifferent part of me. But now let's try to be different. Okay, okay. Let me connect with you. Okay, now I'm connecting with you just so you know. You know what I'm saying? On a 5D, baby. Pick me up there. You gotta meet me upstairs. If you're not upstairs, okay, baby, you're good. You didn't do anything wrong. So I'm saying all of that to say, let's get back to that conversation because we're going somewhere here. I want some bullshit, but the time be tripping. Damn. But anyway, we're talking about. I was just mentioning about how crucial it is, especially for a true light worker, to understand both sides. But I was also talking about myself. But anyway, let's just get back to track here, right? Because the purpose of this conversation is that I wanted to make you, open up your eyes. Because as a spiritual healer, healing you meaning helping you to recognize or to remember who you are. Total recall, nigga. I'm that nigga, you know what I'm saying? However the fuck you want to put it. But here's the download that spirit told me, and I'm gonna just drop this real quick. And I think I said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. And the download was because I knew there's a lot of people who are conscious. There's a lot of people who are conscious. The work is being done. Listen, there's so many facts that are being left. That are like hidden in plain sight. When you look at a nigga, I'll give you a perfect example, man. A lot of this niggas, like, oh shit, Chameleonaire, whatever the fuck this nigga is, right? A lot of people look at him like, yo, he was a one hit wonder, whatever the fuck. This nigga's deep as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he used shit. You know what I'm saying? He used the game for what the game was. This nigga's living lavishly. But most importantly, like, he utilized, like, come on, man. Yo, do you see what I'm saying? So now, if you're looking at, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to talk too much about it. The whole DJ academic shit. The shit that he even talk about hip hop. You would probably say that's the modern, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what is being fed. Then when LL Cool J or whoever else talk about it, right? They're trying to expand his consciousness. That's why, people who are toxic do not know that they're toxic. They will even walk around and call other people toxic, and they're toxic. They don't even know it. Like, what the fuck? This shit's crazy. But also, and I had a video too where I was talking about the whole how this what you call in the so-called knowledgeable information is free. There's no way, niggas. You have more stupid people now. Trust and believe. Well, I don't have the stats. I don't have none of that shit. But to me, there's a lot of more stupid people based on what I'm seeing. The number of shows that are happening, I look at the collective consciousness. You want to understand the nature of a country or the pulse of a country, look at what they love the most. Look at what moves them. Because that's going to reveal their personality. So when you doing international business, for instance, if the French community wants to come over here, they gotta understand you American people, what is it the fuck that you love? Like in France, those niggas talk about love. In America, you cannot speak about that shit. There's no French company who's gonna talk about love over here. If you know it, let me know. Not gonna happen. And any other businesses too, who's gonna deal with America? They're not gonna do it. But you probably think, oh my God, like you're the most lovable. Really? No, you're not. First of all, love is weak over here. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Time is money. Shit, you might even be insulted. You know what I'm saying? Like assaulted. You know what I'm saying? If I'm even bring love to you, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck do I think I am? Weak ass nigga. You will be insulted, depending on how far back or how young that knowledge was passed down to us. And you should be able to see it. If you have awakening, yo, listen, man, like, I'm living right now in fucking Georgia, right? The shit that I see, and especially in the state of consciousness that I am, and I'm looking at this shit, it's like, yo, it makes me feel like, to be honest, I want to make a video every day. I don't even want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? I feel like for some niggas, spirituality is too much. Like, some niggas just need to know how to be raised, dog. Having a mom and dad, like, just to know somebody just gave you something. Somebody just walked into this door. Acknowledge. Hello. Hello. Yo, this shit is crazy. Yo, here's my fucking experience, right? I went to that tropical smoothie shit. You know what I'm saying? I do my little smoothies. Alright, you know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga. I still my beautiful shit, nigga. But at times, nigga, I do a little bit of pizza too, right? I went to Pizza Hut. No, Papa John's, nigga. They had a deal. I don't know what it was. It was a long time, nigga. It didn't have pizza and shit. And I'm like, yo, check out Papa John's and shit. Placed the order online. Showed up at the stove. Like, yo, what up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? I'm picking up my shit. Nigga. Like, niggas even look at you. I'm like, hello. Hello, I'm somebody. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm lying? I look like you, motherfucker. Shit. But anyway, then when I went to my tropical get my juice shit, I'm saying this for a reason too. It's like when I went there from the top, and it was all niggas too. I didn't even step foot in this motherfucker. I just opened up the door. I'm about to step my. It's like, yo, what up, dog? You know what I'm saying? Welcome. How you doing, sir? I'm like, whoa, shit. So there's two levels of this too. Now, understanding the type of business that they're in. Making the juices, the smoothies. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like acknowledge people a little bit more. Could be that too. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then versus niggas making pizza and shit. Like, welcome to McDonald's, nigga. Can I get your order? Yo, bitch, how you doing? Hello, you good? Can I get your order? Now, but do you understand what I'm saying, though? It could be all of that, too, but it's all reflecting the spirit in everything that you do. Oh, the spirit is well alive. You know what I'm saying? That's why understanding the science of motherfucking ignorance is important as a light worker or as a healer, for that sake. I had to understand the disease for me to cure it. In fact, shit, nigga. I had the disease from, you know what I'm saying? It didn't last long, though. Hey, obviously. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the whole process is all about. That's why, you know what I'm saying, it's important for you as a light worker, you know what I'm saying, you have to understand the dark side of everything. And besides, you are not really growing if you have not been from the dark side. And that's why those people who only understand the dark side, who lives only in the dark side, of course, they're going to have some knowledge. They're going to grow. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's why you have to be careful of, because they know now, because they have chosen not to be part of the light. They know how to hide. Correct. You know what I'm saying? That's where your Judas, your jealousy, your envy, you know what I'm saying? The people that would be with you, watching you do all that shit, and then try to fuck you over. Oh, I'm playing chess, baby. Oh, we're playing chess on this side. This is for the grown ups. You know what I'm saying? That's why. That's how you would. If you don't understand that, you wouldn't be able to have compassion. You wouldn't be able to be indifferent. I'm telling you how to be indifferent, man. Living a stress-free life, man. Why the fuck not? Why making other people drama your fucking drama? But see, you gotta understand too. I had to go through it too, because there was a time I could tell you right now where even I was mentioning about my baby mother. Like there was a time where it's like, but I understand what my issue was. It wasn't truly her. It was me. I had to learn how to forgive myself. So when we're talking about the different type of Buddhas or enlightenments, some of us came down over here just to savor who we are, and that's it. Then you have other ones who actually came down, and I'll give you a perfect example. When you look at a guy like Denzel Washington, I'm not saying that he's fully awake. I don't know the man, but I'm just saying. But what I will say is that he had conquered knowledge over his years, right? So every time he gets behind the camera, he would let some real shit go. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you how we need to take accountability for our shit. So he's really, I mean, obviously, he said I was guilty of that too. So he knew he had to work on that. But anyway, you may not know what I'm talking about. But all I'm saying is this. You know, okay. Let's say if you have seen that clip, right? At this point, if you didn't see it, nigga, like you asked out. But if you have seen it, so he's telling you how he's grown from it because he was able to recognize that, and now he's saying what we need to do as men. There's some shit. There's a difference between male and men. Whatever the fuck this motherfucker's talking about. And not necessarily bad, but listen, I just, I'm not saying what he was saying was bad. And the laughing is that is, I just don't remember, but I don't know for the sake of this. I mean, I remember enough. Put it this way. I remember enough that he was saying some shit about males and real men, and we got to step up. So, what I'm trying to say about all of that is that he had overcome he had overcome certain fears, but at the same time he had went to different state of consciousness, and now he's trying to help other people by doing so. He's not so much of a motivational speaker, but it seems like he's been pretty much vocal. You know what I'm saying? Man be a man. Whatever the fuck. Follow your dream. It's a gift. Whatever the fuck this motherfucker's talking about. Everybody's doing God's work, though.